I don't think you're appreciating your own Khalif Raymond call enough. I mean, I'm sorry to embarrass you publicly.
I don't like the Victor lap things.
Each week on this video, we'll give you sneaky ads you could pick up to help you next week on your fantasy football waiver wire. I'm Alan Seslowsky here with Jeff Erickson. Jeff, let's start with the running back position. Who can we add this week that'll help us right away?
Top guy that's going to be mentioned all the time is Damien Williams with the Bears. We're going to find out more about David Montgomery's knee on Wednesday, is what they're promising us, but they don't think it's a torn ACL, but it's definitely something that's going to keep him out for a while. They're thinking maybe a hyperextended knee. Here's the thing I like about Damien Williams is he's capable of catching the ball, passes as well. Had 2 targets last week against the Lions. In previous years, though, with the Chiefs, we saw that he can be a pass catcher. So we're talking about a guy who could be a 3-down back. Still no Tariq Cohen on the Bears. This is the obvious pick that you should be prioritizing this week ahead of any other running back.
What percent of our budget will we allocate to get Damien Williams? Let's reveal our cards in 3, 2, 1. Another sneaky ad at the running back position. I like Jeremy McNichols. Somebody's got to back up Derrick Henry. The 8 catches this week was appetizing. Let's move on to the wide receiver position. Who are you picking up this week?
Jameson Crowder, first game back last week for the Jets, and it was something that improved the offense as a whole. He's that veteran safety blanket. We all want Elijah Moore to be a thing, but Jameson Crowder is definitely a thing. 9 targets last week, 61 yards. He's not game-breaking stuff, but he's the guy they go to when they need that first down. He's the guy they need. He's going to look to. He's always going to run the good routes. He's not going to be this physical freak. We know that, but I'll tell you what. When you're looking for that guy, especially in a PPR league, and they get the London game this week against the Atlanta Falcons. We know we want our pass catchers going against the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm sick of guessing at my wide receiver 3 position. Crowder seems like he's a little bit more safe. I can put him in there and get my points. Let's turn over our bid cards in the count of 3, 2, 1. A little bit deeper league, Kadarius Toney had 9 targets. He looks spry. Let's move on to the tight end position. Who do you got for us? Because I'm always looking for a tight end.
All right, so I think there's some fool's gold flowing around this week. I'm going to have less Alley Cox, not Mo Alley Cox. I'm going to have I'm probably not going to go CJ Uzomah. He had 6 targets to 2 touchdowns. It was great, awesome. A, it was against the Jaguars. B, he had 5 targets combined his first 3 previous games. I just don't think that's sustainable. They'll have T. Higgins back. I know the matchup is pretty good for tight ends against the Packers, generally speaking, but I don't think that's going to be something. I think you just missed his best week, and that's the way I deal with it. So the 2 options I go for are Dan Arnold on the Jaguars. As he starts to become more versed with the Jaguars offense, they traded quite a bit for him. They traded away C.J. Henderson for him. He showed some glimpses early on in that game, and I think he's going to get a lot more snaps in week 5. So I like targeting him. And I like Max Williams on the Cardinals. 5 targets against the Rams. He's starting to pick up he had a big week in week 2, I believe, also. So I think he's a little bit more viable than Uzomah and Mo Alley Cox.
Of the 2 players you named, would you prioritize one over the other, Arnold and Max Williams?
I would probably put the same bid price on each of them. It'd be slightly over the minimum. I think I'd go Arnold, and then I'd go Williams, and then I'd go the other guys after that if I'm desperate.
And is it safe to say, because one of the more common questions we've been getting on the RotoWire message boards is Dawson Knox. If he's there, you prioritize him above those or
absolutely.
In the same tier?
Absolutely above them. I just assume Dawson Knox is gone.
Yeah, in most leagues he is, but there's still some leagues where people didn't believe. All right, let's turn over our bid cards for Dan Arnold and Max Williams. We said it's going to be the same bid for both players in 3, 2, 1. If I get beat to the punch on Damien Williams, is there another running back that I can put in and just help me get by with another week without Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, unlike last week where there was only Chuba Hubbard and that was it. There is another this week, Samaje Perine. Joe Mixon has a low ankle sprain. They're saying week to week. Again, that could be just this week, could be 3 weeks. Perine is the guy that steps in. Now, he is not going to get as many targets in the passing game necessarily as, he won't be that third 3-down back. Chris Evans, not the actor, the football player from Michigan, will be the guy that gets the targets. And he's actually really shifty in the passing game. He had a couple of big catches a couple of weeks ago.
Let's turn over our big cards for both Perine and for Chris Evans on the count of 3, 2, 1. Since you watched this video until the end, let's give them one bonus sneaky ad for week 5.
And go with Kendrick Bourne. 13 targets the last 2 weeks. I think he's emerging a little bit more as a favorite target for Mac Jones. He was one of the free agent acquisitions over the offseason. Coming up for Bourne, he's got Houston, then Dallas, then the Jets. That's a pretty good schedule. Although they'll run a little bit more against Houston, but still, we like that setup there. So I think Kendrick Bourne is a guy that if you miss out on Jameson Crowder, Bourne is probably the cheaper alternative that you can swoop in and still get some value there as a floor guy.
If you're in a league where you need a wide receiver, let's flip over our bid cards in 3, 2, 1. Go to rotowire.com/try, and you can see all of our content for free for 10 days.